This is a normal day in the life of Chinese school children. Biometric scans using facial recognition to enter the school premises and begin the school day. This seems like something out of a dystopian sci-fi film, but for Chinese school kids, this is an everyday reality. Again, another face scanner to pay for lunch using Alipay's One Face Pass to scan the child's face and deduct funds from the parent's account. If we do not resist digital ID here in the UK, this will be the way of life for future generations. We cannot accept this. We must not comply. We must come together and unite to defeat digital ID. We did it once, and we can do it again. Grab your stickers, get to the protests, educate your communities, and do not comply.
Everybody's talking about AI, social media, and digital currency, but what nobody's talking about is digital identity. That's the real game, because once they control who you are digitally, they control everything you could do in the real world. This ain't about convenience. This is about control. Total, silent, invisible control. When you hear digital ID, it sounds harmless, right? A faster way to log in, verify your account, sign documents, but what it really is a master key. Your digital identity will connect to your bank account, health records, social media, job applications, travel history, even your online opinions and search history. Everything about you linked under one ID system that the government or corporations can access. They say it's about safety and security, but when one system controls access, it also controls permission.
The arrival of digital identification marks the end of an era. It is the end of freedom, and it's the beginning of digital feudalism. Trump is not who we need to be worried about. The real kings are the tech giants who rule over the digital world. A digital ID is not just an online copy of your driver's license. It is your entire identity contained and monitored in an online file. They will know everything about you. And when I say everything, I mean everything. This is the coming of a complete and total surveillance state. Everything you do will require your digital ID and will be tracked in your file. And you do not have control over this file. Your work history will be connected to your digital ID. Your financial transactions will be connected to your digital ID. Your browsing history, your text messages, your social media posts, your passport, your medical records, what you do in your spare time, your very behavior as a human being will be tracked to your digital ID. Your digital ID will be the key that unlocks access to your entire life. But if you misbehave, protest too loudly, Google search the wrong thing, your file will get flagged. Your key gets revoked and you get exiled from the system. It's the same thing they do to foreign countries that don't play by the rules. Cuba, Russia, Iran, North Korea. Just like them, you will be sanctioned. You will be cut off from the system. This is the future. For decades, we have been handing over our freedom in exchange for comfort and security. And the only way to get our freedom back is to do the one thing that Americans are not yet prepared to do. We have to give up that very comfort and security. Because a hard truth that many Americans are unwilling to hear is that you cannot build a new life until you are willing to walk away from the old one.
And what if that access gets hacked? Then all of your information is got all at one time. You ever notice how they're slowly making everything login based? You can't even access your own taxes, medical information, or benefits without some new ID verification system. They're merging databases step by step until one ID becomes the gateway for everything. And once that happens, they don't need to take away your freedom. They can just limit your access. No need for handcuffs when they can just lock your account. They call it a digital identity, but in other countries, it's already a social credit system. You get rated based on your spending, your speech, and your social behavior. Do something they don't like, your score drops. Speak against the system, your access shrinks. That's not the future. That's already the present in places like China and America. We're just dressing it up in fancy tech words before we roll it out here.
Digital ID is coming, and what you're going to do about it? The chances are you're probably not going to do anything. You see, how do we actually stop the digital ID? Do you want the bad news? We're not going to be able to stop it. It is going to happen. It doesn't matter what we do as a people. Yeah, a lot of people have said, well, we'll just call the government's bluff, like I put in one of my videos. But you see, the thing is, the majority of people are not going to call the government's bluff. As soon as they see themselves not being able to work without a digital ID, they're going to get it. Protesting doesn't work. Over 3 million people marched on London with their flags. Do you think the government cares? No, they don't. Petitioning doesn't work. That petition has got millions of signatures on it now. And you know what the government did with it? Keir Starmer took it and he wiped his arse with it. People aren't going to abstain. So the question is, how do you not have a digital ID yourself? And the only way for that to happen is for you to create a life for yourself where you can provide for yourself the things that otherwise you are going to need a digital ID for. So you're going to have to work for yourself. You're going to have to take care of your health for yourself. You're going to have to take care of your money for yourself. And the thing is, do you want the even worse news? Self-sufficiency is a scam. Just like my friend Billy in Wild Minds says, self-sufficiency is a scam. You cannot do this by yourself. The solution, the only solution, is to get land as a community and begin to feed ourselves. Once we have food and water security and we have a community together, working together, only then can we say we won't need a digital ID, because we won't need money, we can feed ourselves. We won't need the hospitals because we will take care of our own health by eating whole foods, by exercising, by using natural remedies. And when you have a community around you, you have one person to do this, one person to do that, one person to look after the chickens, one person to look after 7 people to look after the cows, somebody to make the bread, somebody to sow the wheat, somebody to separate the wheat from the chaff, another person to grind it, another person to make the flour, right? This is how it works. And this is the only way that we're going to resist getting a digital ID. And so the question is, are you ready to do what is required to stop yourself getting a digital ID? Because the majority of people aren't ready. They won't do it.
They'll make you want it. They'll connect it to safer online banking, faster access to healthcare, and easier travel. Then they'll link it to the digital dollar, and boom, your freedom becomes a subscription. You won't own your identity, you'll rent access to it. And like any subscription, they can cancel you at any time. This is why I keep saying, you can't fight what you don't understand. Digital identity is the foundation of modern slavery because it makes control look like progress. But awareness is the one thing that can't digitize. The more people understand the play, the harder it is for them to pull it off quietly. Before I close this out, let me remind you, if you want to start taking back on some control, support a system that actually belongs to you, move your money with purpose. One United Bank is the largest black-owned bank in America. And when we circulate our money through our own, we start building real-world independence. Digital identity might look like technology, but it's really about obedience. Once you give them your data, your habits, and your access, you've given them control over your life. So stay aware, stay intentional, and don't let them turn your freedom into a login screen. This is Unapologetically My Opinion, and I said what I said.